Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5 PS5 gameplay as we unlock another new car. I've already made a video about the Hennessy Mammoth and how it's an unbelievable drift car. No, I can't believe it either. Today is the day we can unlock what I think is arguably my favorite car in this month's update. This is the Lotus Exige Cup 430, the final Lotus Exige ever made. All you have to do to unlock this thing is complete 6 realms in Horizon Realms, like the skill mode. It'll take you about 30 minutes to unlock this thing. It's not super hard. You just need to go and sit there. Before we jump into the new Lotus, I need to explain something.
Chicken jockey.
Not that, no. As it turns out, the Forza Horizon 5 developers gave me 7 copies of this game for PlayStation to give away to you guys. We're giving away all 7 copies on the AR12 Discord server right now, and today is actually the final day to enter. Oh my god, what a sick car. Look at that engine in the back, and look at that abysmal boot space. One does not buy a Lotus because it's practical. We've got 430 horsepower, we've got 320 foot-pounds of torque, but it weighs absolutely nothing. I guess we should start off with a little sound test for the Lotus, huh? What a noise! Dude, this supercharger is insane. This wouldn't be an AR12 video without any fun facts about the tiny little lightweight Lotus Final Edition Cup 430. So over the past what feels like almost 30 years now, I guess, they basically build these tiny little lightweight sports cars that aren't particularly fast in a straight line. This one's a little different. We'll get to that. They weigh nothing, and they're some of the most fun cars you can possibly drive. As the years went on, Lotus built things like the Lotus Elise, which was like the normal version, the road-going version, and then they built the Lotus Exige, which was like the hardcore version. That was the race car one. It was still a road car, but it was the hardcore one. In 2022 or 2023, Lotus officially killed off the Lotus Elise and the Lotus Exige, but to celebrate them and give it one last hurrah, they decided to finish off with a final edition, and this is the final edition. The Lotus Exige Cup 430 takes a 3.5-liter V6 engine and then straps an enormous supercharger to the thing. Why do I like this thing so much? This is without a doubt one of the best attainable dream cars. Lotuses have been going up in price pretty steadily. One of these things will run you about 80,000 pounds in the UK. They may be saying, Nick, that's a lot of money. You'd be correct. But what if I told you this is way cheaper than every other sports car and supercar out there? That 3.5-liter engine is a Toyota Camry engine that the guys from Lotus take and modify and put the supercharger on it, which means it's unbelievably cheap to maintain and actually run the thing. If you buy a Lamborghini Huracan, it'll probably cost you nowadays like 150, maybe 200 grand. So a little bit more than this, maybe the same price, depending on how nice it is, right? Do you know how much it costs to do an oil change on a Lamborghini Huracan? $3,500. Do you know how much it costs to do an oil change on a Lotus? About $100 and maybe half an hour of your time. It's a Toyota Camry engine. You can do it yourself in your garage with regular tools. It is without a doubt one of the best attainable sports cars that people can still could have gone out and actually bought. I've actually been hyping this car up a whole bunch because I have a sneaking suspicion this car is going to be probably the best car to actually use in Forza Horizon 5. So let's start off with a build that I think might be rather good. Let's start off with some engine swaps and see what options we've got. So we've got our 3.5 Toyota Camry engine. We can throw a V8 in. I don't know how that's possible. No idea how that fits. 3-liter V8. That's from the Ariel Atom. That's a bit awkward talking about Lamborghini's high oil change costs, and then they give me a Lamborghini engine. My previous comments have not aged particularly well. This 3-liter V8 is gonna be cracked. Look at how lightweight this engine is. I don't need to all-wheel drive swap this thing just yet. I don't need to twin turbo this just yet. I'm gonna go for... Yo! You could go from the Cup 430 front bumper to the regular front bumper. That's so sick. And it's adjustable aero, which means if you don't want to run Forza aero, you can run that one. And we have Lotus rear wings, which are also adjustable. What is that rear wing? Yo, that one's sick. I don't know what that wing is, but I love that one. Chat, this is the best car in this month's update, and it's not even close. Before, it was me being biased, saying this is the best car in the pack, or in the month's update. Now it's just a straight up fact that this is the best car in the update. Let's go full slicks on this thing. Then we can change the front tire width. We can't change the rear tire width at all. Could we get lighter weight wheels? We can. We won't do those just yet because I might need to save the PI. We do have some engine spacers available, which look simply lovely. I'm aware they changed the PI, but as I've said before, looking good is more important than winning. So we can also change the front wheel size and not the rear. My goal for this thing is to try to get at the top of S1 class. Some of the best cars in S1 class for like tight, twisty circuits are the Elemental RP1, R1P, whatever it's called, the fax machine car. If with the right upgrades, this could actually compete. Maybe. I probably don't need brakes. I think we're just going to be so fast everywhere else, we don't need to worry about that. We're already on race suspension. We could get rally suspension or drift suspension. We will come back to both of those. We could get a roll cage, which I think is actually gonna help. I know it weighs 35 pounds, but I think it'll help. I could do even more weight reduction. And then I guess let's just finish up with a little bit of horsepower to get it to the top of the class nicely. After all of our upgrades, we weigh 2,100 pounds, which is fantastic. We've got 550 horsepower, which is also fantastic. I want to go and see if this is like a wild cornering car now. Last but not least, let's just give it a nice little Lotus-inspired paint job. We do have advanced paint groups for this, so we've got the nice little Lotus red, Lotus white, boring gray. Oh, the blue's sick. I wish like the trim, like the little red bits actually went blue to match. That's really cool. I love the green. What do the advanced paint groups do though? Okay, so group number 1, main body of the car. And group number 2, please tell me it's the stripes. I like it, Picasso. Lotus Exige Cup 430. Wait, is that a goddamn drag car? What are we racing? Anyways, let's see how we can do with this thing. We should have all the elements to absolutely send it around here. ... providing the AI wasn't driving into the side of my car. It's very slippery, this thing. Maybe the extra horsepower wasn't really necessary. I'm not gonna lie, it's also really weird to go try hard on a PlayStation. The whole controller feels so much different. It is definitely throwing me off a little bit. Anyways, go, little Lotus. This thing was pretty wild to drive around here, but I think with a little bit more aero, we could probably go way faster with it. Let me just give it even more aero. I want to crank this thing. I very quickly want to go to Rivals and just see if it's any good. So what do we think, boys? If this thing could go maybe like sub 43, I think my only time on this leaderboard right now is like a 48 or something like that. I think a purpose-built Lotus should be able to go a little quicker, but I don't think it's on the same pace as that thing. It's definitely not on the same pace as that thing. As much as I wanted it to be, yeah, it's not. It's not. It's really not. It's a cool car, but it might not be an OP car. Yo, look at the grip through the final corner. Okay, dude. I literally called it. It did a 43 seconds. I mean, you could definitely get that time down even more, but yeah, it's not bad, but it's not OP. It's definitely one of the faster handling cars, but it's nowhere near that elemental. If it's not the crazy handling monster that we really think it is, what if we just kind of break the rules of Lotus and say, hello, off-roading? Oh, this is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. If we're doing this, I'm gonna go full illegal. We're fully illegal. Usually, we're worried about getting letters from Ferrari. I think I'm about to get a letter from the ghost of Colin Chapman. Give me some nice rally suspension. Very good. Give me a nice transmit. Oh, we've already got that. Perfect. I don't think we need brakes. I'm just going to go for horsepower because I'm feeling brave, aka I'm feeling a bit dumb. 750 horsepower now. We're still sub 2,500 pounds, even though we have a twin turbocharged V8 in this thing. Wait, what's the weight distribution? It's got to be stupid now. Can I just put a temporary pause in here? I just want to show something that happened the other day. In case you didn't know, the developers made a Forza Horizon Japan Twitter page. So I replied to them and went, And then the developers replied to me and went, it's not that deep. And then I said, we'll revisit this on June 8th. I guess we'll find out then, huh? I'll let all of you fight in the... What in the world? The AR12 World Tour Top Gear AR12 logos left. What is this car? I don't know how you've done that. I don't know how you've made that appear in my game, but fair play, I guess. Anyways, let's see. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Boys, I'm just not braking. I'm not even lifting. This has been full gas from the get-go. I'm still not lifting. Little brake there. In, round the outside past you. Nothing to see there. This thing is so quick. Dude. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. As it turns out, if you're an owner of a Lotus Exige Cup 430, you're actually the owner of the Lotus Exige Rally 240. Those Lotus boys really need to start investing in WRC because this is lovely. Chat says, would you consider selling your Mustang for the Lotus? No, but that's also because I would never sell my Mustang. But would I buy the Lotus on top? This one? No. A regular Lotus Exige? Abso-goddamn-lutely. How many walls are you gonna hit? Most of them. Then I get to remind you to buy a Skill Issue hoodie. Available now on the store. See, you thought you got one there by trying to make fun of my driving, and I got a product plug out of it. So who's the real winner? When I bought my Nissan GTR back in the day, the guy who sold me the car, he deals like in like fancy cars essentially. He was saying the best way to sell a Lotus is to tell people is have somebody drive the Porsche first and then drive the Lotus. The Porsche is comfortable and relaxing and smooth. And then he would throw people into the Lotus. And it'd be like driving a go-kart on steroids. And it would smack you and hit you. And it would be too hot and it would overheat. And that was the best goddamn way to sell a Lotus. Because people didn't want the practical choice. People wanted the unpractical choice. Because that's what they want when they buy a Lotus. It was the biggest brain sales strategy I've ever seen. I think what we've established here is Lotus is actually built the wrong car. It's actually a WRC car, not a track car. I think it's time we see how fast we can make it, though. Time for the Lambo V10. All-wheel drive and tires grippier than... Moving on. Time for the $3,000 oil change. Yeah, you're not gonna let them live that down, huh? Oh my God, it's so close. I was not expecting an almost X-Class Lotus. That's crazy. It's got 1,200 horsepower now, and it weighs nothing. This is gonna be brutal. What am I racing? Is that a goddamn McLaren P1? Oh, no. Oh, no. You're an electric car. How did you hold us up? Anyways, just go. Full send. Don't tell me this works. Don't give me hope. Don't give me false hope, Gabe. We get a little bit of understeer now, but that's expected when you've got all of the world's horsepower. To be honest, not the greatest weight distribution, so the front wheels are kind of in the air when you're trying to press the gas and turn. That's simply the consequence of putting a V10 in the back of a Lotus. Gain on the BMW, man. Why did he brake so early? I didn't even brake for that, dude. That was crazy. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I think this is what Lotus drivers think they drive. 200 miles an hour without even thinking of braking. This is a Lotus driver's wet dream here. Brake, up the hill, up the inside past that guy, through the left. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We're good. Chat, we're like not gonna brake to the end of this race now. Look, we're just flat the whole way. This thing's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, it's not actually the nicest car to drive because if you have any slow speed corners, you're dead because the understeer is kind of atrocious. But it's so much fun to drive flat out like that and just not brake. I'm also not here to burst any bubbles, but that's actually an incredibly slow S2 class car. Like, incredibly slow. We've officially reached that portion of the video where I now need to make a Lotus go sideways. Generally easier said than done here. I'm just gonna reset it to default upgrades. This is gonna be quite difficult. You know what? I'm gonna use the stock engine for this because I think it'll be the most fun. We've already got a supercharger on there, so I'm not going to twin turbo it. You know what? I guess I'll do things pretty legit. Drift suspension and all the, or like drift tires and all the bits. We just max the horsepower on the stock engine and see how much it can build. The stock engine, the Camry engine, 768 horsepower. The developers could have been really great and given us one more, but top of S1 class perfectly. Happy coincidence. It sounds like angry bees. All right, anyways, let's go, little Lotus. I don't really know what to expect for this thing, but I'm just gonna send it as hard as I can and kind of hope for the best. I'm not gonna lie, it feels very, very grippy right out of the gate, but Lotus do be a Lotus at the end of the day. It feels good though, dude. It feels really... It was feeling really good. I mean, I think like 180k would be a nice score for this thing. Even like 200k might be obtainable. Maybe with an all-wheel drive tune, but I'm gonna just push it and... Again, like I said, we're just going to cross our fingers and kind of see what we can do as long as we don't go too wide and go off. Very nice. I'm pushing. I'm pushing a lot here. I don't know how the game isn't trying to take my points away for all this corner cutting. Oh, 193k, bro. What a beautiful car. I think this is without a doubt my favorite car in this month's update. Not only is it the final Lotus Exige ever made, but it's just so nice to actually drive. Not to mention the customization for it is just, it's fantastic.